everyone. Welcome to Sam's Summaries. This episode is a deep dive discussion into Sam Fury's summary of the book How to Have Great Sex by Aventuras De Viaje. It has been created with the help of AI. You can read the original summary at samfury.com.
Hey everyone! Ready for things to get a little steamy? We're going deep today. Deep into the world of amazing sex.
Ooh, exciting.
Yeah, and we've got some juicy source material to work with.
Lay it on me.
All right, so we're talking about the book How to Have Great Sex, a complete guide on making love and mind-blowing sex.
That's quite a title.
Right, and it really does cover it all, the basics, some pretty wild techniques, it's all in there.
So whether someone's looking for a few new tricks or just a fun listen.
Exactly. This deep dive is for you.
You know what really struck me about this book? It's not just your typical how-to sex manual.
Oh.
Yeah, it actually goes way deeper into the emotional and even spiritual side of intimacy.
Interesting.
There's a surprising emphasis on mindfulness and building a deeper connection with your partner. They even bring in things like tantric practices and chakras.
Wow, so it's not just about the mechanics, it's about creating a truly fulfilling experience, huh?
Exactly.
And I see they break things down into 4 main parts.
Makes sense.
The first part is the basics of great sex, all about laying the groundwork for amazing intimacy.
Right. Setting the stage.
Exactly. They cover self-care, communication, and setting the mood. But honestly, some of their suggestions really surprised me.
Like what?
Well, for instance, they talk about the importance of bathing together.
Oh, not just a quick shower, though.
No, like a full-on sensual experience.
I like it.
Me too. And get this. They even suggest bringing food into the bedroom.
Ooh, food. Tell me more.
It's all about engaging the senses in a playful way. They suggest feeding each other chocolate or fruit or even using honey for a little. Well, you have to read the book for those details.
Okay, I'm definitely intrigued.
Right. And hold on, there's more. There's a whole section on sexy talk.
Uh-huh. I bet everyone's ears just perked up.
Probably. But before you get any ideas, it's not what you might think.
Yeah, it's not about cheesy pickup lines or anything like that.
No, it's about being able to talk openly and honestly about what you want and don't want. With your partner, I mean.
Exactly. Being able to communicate your desires and boundaries without feeling embarrassed.
So basically, being comfortable talking about what you like and don't like in bed. Makes sense.
Absolutely. Good communication is so important for any relationship.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to intimacy.
Couldn't agree more. All right, moving on to part 2. Things are about to get interesting.
Hit me.
It's called Yoga for Better Sex.
Okay, now I've heard of yoga for flexibility and stress relief, but for better sex.
I know, right? Sign me up.
Well, this part isn't your typical yoga class. It focuses on specific poses designed to improve flexibility, increase blood flow.
So there's an actual physical benefit to these poses.
Oh, absolutely. Even beyond just getting you in the mood.
I see. And I'm guessing this is where they bring in the chakras.
You know it. It wouldn't be a complete exploration of this topic without diving into the world of chakras.
Now, for those of us who might not be familiar with chakras, what exactly are they?
So chakras are these energy centers in the body. They play a big role in lots of practices, including Tantra. The idea is that balancing these chakras can enhance your energy flow and increase sensitivity, both physically and emotionally.
Interesting.
And the book provides specific yoga routines, both solo and partnered, to help open up these energy centers. And, well, improve your performance in the bedroom.
Okay, so you're telling me downward dog can actually lead to a better sex life?
It's all connected. And those partnered routines are especially interesting. They can help couples build trust and get in sync with each other, moving together, breathing together. It's a pretty cool concept.
All right, I'm starting to see the connection here. Now on to the part I know everyone's been waiting for. Part 3 is called, wait for it, 126 sex positions guaranteed to spice up your bedroom.
I mean, the title alone is enough to make you curious.
Right. Honestly, what impressed me about this section wasn't just the variety of positions, it was how the book explained each one. It's not just about crazy acrobatics.
No, it's about finding positions that actually work for your body and your partner's body.
And your comfort level, of course.
Exactly. The book really emphasizes adapting these positions to your own fitness level. It's about finding ways to enjoy the challenge together, not pushing yourself beyond your limits.
That's a good point. Okay, enough about positions for now. Let's move on to the final part of the book. Learn tantric sex. This is where things get really interesting.
Oh, yes, Tantra.
We're talking about going beyond just the physical act and tapping into a deeper level of connection. Energy flow, mindfulness, It's all part of the tantric experience.
Right. Tantra is all about being fully present in the moment, really savoring the sensations and connecting with your partner on a deeper level.
It's not about rushing to the finish line. It's about prolonging pleasure and deepening intimacy. And the book mentions some pretty intriguing details, like creating a tantric space and the namaste ritual.
Yeah, they even talk about this technique called peaking, which is supposed to help you last longer.
Okay, so much to unpack here. Can you tell me more about creating a tantric space? I've heard the term before, but I'm not sure what it actually entails.
Sure. It's all about setting the scene for a sensual and spiritual experience. You know, dimming the lights, lighting some candles, putting on some soft music.
Ah, so it's about creating a sanctuary where you can fully connect.
Exactly. And have you ever experimented with setting a specific mood for intimacy?
I have, actually, and it makes a huge difference.
I bet it does. Now, how about the namaste ritual? I know that word from yoga, but how does it apply to intimacy?
I was wondering the same thing.
Well, it's a beautiful way to begin and end your intimate moments. You and your partner sit facing each other, palms together, and acknowledge the divine energy within each other.
I love that. Acknowledging the sacredness of the connection. It's not just a physical act. It's about honoring each other on a deeper level. Okay, and what about this peaking technique? Is it about delaying climax?
It's one aspect of it, yeah. The book explains that by controlling your breathing and focus, you can delay climax and experience multiple peaks of intense sensation. Similar to tantric practices where the goal is to prolong the experience and deepen the connection. But peaking can be incorporated into a more, shall we say, mainstream setting.
So it's like a taste of Tantra.
Yeah.
A way to bring those principles into a more familiar context.
That's a great way to put it.
You know, it's amazing how all these different elements tie together, the yoga, the Tantra, the communication. It's all about creating a more holistic and fulfilling experience.
You got it. And we've only just scratched the surface of what this book has to offer. We've covered the basics, explored the world of chakras and Tantra, and even gotten a sneak peek at some adventurous positions.
But there's so much more to unpack here. Like some of the most fascinating and maybe even eyebrow-raising tips from each part of the book. I mean, some of this advice is surprisingly practical and easy to incorporate into everyday life.
Oh, I think you'll be surprised by some of the things we uncover.
Well, then let's get to it. Let's start with those basics. This book has some great advice on building intimacy and setting the mood. And one thing that really stood out to me was the emphasis on touch. And I'm not just talking about the obvious kind, right? So we were talking about touch.
Yeah.
And the book goes beyond just, the obvious.
Right. It breaks down the importance of different types of touch, from gentle caresses to more firm pressure.
I see.
And how each type can evoke different sensations and emotions. They even suggest using everyday objects for sensual exploration.
Ooh, like what? Give me an example.
Well, they mention running a feather lightly over your partner's skin, or using a silk scarf for a playful blindfold.
Okay, yeah, I like where this is going.
It's about getting creative, finding new ways to stimulate the senses.
For sure. Okay, Now let's talk about that yoga section.
Right.
This whole chakra thing, it can sound kind of mystical.
Yeah.
But the book actually makes it pretty practical.
Right.
So how do these chakras actually affect your, performance in the bedroom?
So each chakra is associated with specific qualities and energies. For example, the root chakra, located at the base of the spine, is associated with grounding, stability, and feelings of security. When this chakra is balanced, it can lead to increased feelings of sensuality and connection to your body.
Okay, so if someone's feeling kind of disconnected or insecure?
It could be related to an imbalance in their root chakra.
Interesting. And I'm guessing there are specific yoga poses that can help balance this chakra.
Exactly. Poses like mountain pose or child's pose can help to ground and stabilize the root chakra.
Okay, so those are good ones to start with.
And moving up the body, we have the sacral chakra, which is all about creativity, passion, and sexual energy.
Now we're talking. So if you're feeling blocked in this area.
It could manifest as low libido or difficulty experiencing pleasure.
Makes sense.
And to help open up that sacral chakra, the book suggests poses like hip opening stretches or spinal twists. What's great is that even if you're not into the whole spiritual side of things, these poses are still beneficial for your physical well-being.
Totally. You get the physical benefits like increased flexibility and strength, but you're also working with these energy centers. It's a win-win. All right, now on to the part I know everyone's been waiting for, the positions. I don't want to give away all the secrets here.
Right. We got to keep some surprises.
But I'm dying to hear about some of the more unique or unexpected ones that caught your eye.
Well, one that stood out to me was the yin and yang position. The book describes it as a very intimate and spiritual position, allowing for deep connection and eye contact. It's supposed to promote a sense of harmony and balance between partners.
Wow, that sounds intense. Is it difficult?
It does require a good deal of flexibility, so it might not be for everyone. But the book provides modifications for different body types and abilities. It's all about finding what works for you and your partner, and not being afraid to experiment.
Right, because there's no right or wrong way to do it.
Exactly. And remember, communication is key. Let your partner know what feels good and what doesn't. And don't be afraid to laugh if things get a little clumsy.
Absolutely. It's supposed to be fun. All right, besides the yin and yang, any other positions you want to tease?
Well, there's a whole section on oral positions that goes beyond the basics. For example, there's one described as tantric oral. It involves using breath work and energy exchange.
Okay, now we're getting into some advanced stuff. What's the key takeaway from this section?
The book really emphasizes that with tantric practices, it's not just about the physical sensations. It's about connecting on a deeper spiritual level and using that energy to enhance intimacy. Have you ever tried incorporating breath work or meditation into your intimate moments?
I have a little bit,
Okay.
and I can see how it could really add another dimension to the experience. It's about being more present, right?
Exactly, bringing awareness to your body, your breath, and the energy between you and your partner. And it's something you can continue to explore and deepen over time.
That's the beauty of it. Always something new to discover. So, what advice would you give to someone who's new to all this? Like, where's a good place to start?
Well, the book stresses the importance of self-exploration, getting to know your own body, your pleasure points, your responses to different types of touch. Have you ever taken the time to really explore your own body and what feels good?
To be honest, I think that's something a lot of people could benefit from, myself included. We're often so focused on pleasing our partners that we forget to tune in to our own needs.
And that's a recipe for, not fully enjoying the experience.
For sure.
It's so important to prioritize your own pleasure. And not just physical exploration,
Yeah.
but getting comfortable with your sexuality as a whole.
Right, your fantasies, what turns you on, all of it.
Exactly. It's about embracing your sexuality and giving yourself permission to explore without judgment.
I love that. And then once you have a good handle on your own desires, it's all about communication with your partner.
Absolutely. Open and honest communication is essential for a fulfilling and satisfying sex life.
For sure.
Being able to share your desires, your boundaries, your fantasies, it creates a space of safety and trust.
So we're talking about more than just dirty talk here.
Right.
It's about being able to truly express your needs, in a respectful way, of course.
And being open to hearing your partner's needs as well. It's a two-way street. And the book actually offers some helpful tips on how to start those conversations, create a more open dialogue about sex in your relationship.
It's amazing how much there is to learn about this seemingly simple act.
Right.
We think of sex as just physical, but it's so much more than that. It's about connection, communication, exploration, even spirituality.
It truly is a lifelong journey of discovery. And the more you learn, the more you can enhance your own pleasure and the pleasure of your partner.
I like that. So we've covered a lot of ground in this section. Breathing techniques, tantric rituals, positions that would make a gymnast blush.
I know, right? We've gone deep.
But at the end of the day, it's important to remember there's no right or wrong way to approach this.
I agree. The most important takeaway is that great sex isn't about following a script.
Or achieving some predetermined outcome.
Exactly. It's about being present, being connected, and being open to new experiences. Finding what works for you and your partner. Creating your own unique recipe for intimacy. And don't forget to have fun.
Yes. Laughter is key. Don't take it all too seriously. Enjoy the journey. All right, so we've explored a whole spectrum of techniques and practices to help create a more fulfilling sex life.
But remember, this is just the beginning. The real magic happens when you take this information and start applying it to your own life, with your own partner, in your own unique way.
So go forth and experiment, explore, and most importantly, have fun.
Don't be afraid to try new things. Communicate openly with your partner. And most importantly, embrace your sexuality with confidence and joy.
Now let's move on to the final section of this deep dive, where we'll explore the mindset of a truly amazing sexual being.
Okay, so we've talked about techniques, tantra, chakras, all that good stuff.
A lot to digest.
Right, but there's this one thing that stuck with me from the book.
What's that? The idea of being an amazing sexual being, it's like it goes beyond just, the physical stuff.
You hit the nail on the head. This is where the book really challenges us to think differently about how we approach sex, mentally and emotionally.
So mindset is key.
Absolutely. The book encourages us to ditch any shame or negative beliefs we have about sex.
That baggage we carry around.
Yeah, exactly. Instead, it's all about self-acceptance and confidence.
Because when you feel good about yourself,
It shows in the bedroom.
totally. And that confidence is attractive, right?
Right, incredibly. It allows you to be more present, more playful, more open to pleasure.
Makes sense.
It's like a positive feedback loop. The more confident you feel, the better the sex, which just boosts your confidence even more.
I like that, a positive feedback loop. So how do we cultivate that confidence?
Well, the book talks about practicing self-love, exploring your fantasies, and being open with your partner about what you want. What are some things you do to feel more confident and comfortable in your own skin?
For me, it's a lot about self-care. Exercise, eating healthy, taking time for myself, but also surrounding myself with positive people.
I love that. And you touched on something really important, that feeling of safety and comfort with your partner. It makes such a difference.
Oh, absolutely. When you have that trust, it's so much easier to let go of those inhibitions. Just be yourself.
Exactly. It's about creating that space where you can both be open and honest about what you want and don't want, without any judgment. And honestly, that vulnerability can really deepen your connection, lead to more fulfilling experiences.
It makes you feel seen and accepted, right? Like
Yeah.
you can truly be yourself, no masks.
Yes. And it's about owning your sexuality, celebrating it. It's a natural and beautiful part of who we are.
I think that's a really powerful message, especially with all the unrealistic expectations and pressure we face around sex.
So true. This book encourages us to break free from all that, define what great sex means for us on our own terms, because it's going to look different for everyone. There's no one-size-fits-all approach.
It's about finding what works for you and your partner, creating your own unique recipe for intimacy, and maybe being open to new things too. Pushing those boundaries a little bit.
For sure. Growth often happens outside of our comfort zones, right?
Mm-hmm.
That applies to our sexual lives, too. Think about a time you tried something new in the bedroom, even if it felt a little awkward at first. What happened?
It can be so exciting, discovering something new about yourself or your partner, and it's all about approaching it with curiosity and a playful attitude.
Couldn't agree more. Well, I think we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive. Everything from the basics of intimacy to the secrets of tantra.wu.
My head is spinning. In a good way, of course.
Hopefully. But this is just the beginning, really.
Right. It's all about taking this information and making it our own.
Exactly. Applying it to your life, your relationship in a way that feels good and authentic.
So go forth and experiment. Explore. Most importantly, have fun.
Don't be afraid to try new things. Communicate with your partner. And remember, the best sex is about more than just the physical. It's about connection, intimacy, vulnerability.
Celebrating that human connection in all its messy glory.
Well said. And with that, I think we've reached the end of our deep dive. Hopefully everyone's feeling inspired to go out and create some amazing experiences.
I know I am. This has been such an eye-opening conversation. I'm walking away with so many new ideas and a renewed sense of, excitement.
Me too. We've given you the tools. Now it's up to you to create the experience you desire. Be open, be curious, be playful. And until next time, happy exploring.
Happy exploring, everyone.
Thanks for tuning in to Sam's Summaries. If you found this episode useful, let us know with a like, follow, and share. Also, if you haven't already, be sure to visit samfury.com to get free access to all of Sam's original summaries, which you can download as PDFs, as well as other exclusive content. It's all completely free at samfury.com.